Hey guys, I'm Parth.
And I'm Chinmay.
And we'd like to welcome you to BioCast, a podcast where we'll be discussing current biological research, the future of the field, and how it impacts our everyday lives.
So first, a little bit about us. We're both undergraduate students at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill and are passionate about biology and research. Parth here is a neuroscience?
Yeah, neuroscience.
Major, and I'm majoring in biomedical engineering with a minor in data science.
So you might be wondering why we started this podcast. As Chinmay said, we're both heavily interested in biology, and we wanted to discover and share what all is actively happening in the field. So we were thinking, and an idea just hit us. Why not start a podcast? It's an efficient way to aggregate a lot of our own knowledge in one place, and it gave us a really good reason to put ourselves out there and push ourselves to learn more about the field while also giving others the opportunity to educate themselves on current happenings.
So, what can you expect out of this podcast? Well, we can't really speak for the upload schedule as we'll be pretty busy with classes and such during the school year, but we'll have more than frequent updates on our blog, which you can check out at biocast.co, as well as regular guests that can speak to recent research in their field of expertise.
We'll be discussing topics ranging from science communication to cancer, and of course, we're open to hearing from all of you listening at home about topics you want us to talk about.
So, Parth, we've talked about what got us, interested in creating the podcast, but what really sucked you into biology? What do you find so fascinating about that, that we're sitting here right now?
Yeah, so I've always been a science kid in general, just wanting to know how the world around me works and stuff like that. But I'd say I really got engrossed in the field when I saw an article online that Biogen was developing a drug for Alzheimer's called Aduhelm.
Wait, so just jumping in here real quick. For the viewers at home that might not understand what Biogen is, could you explain that to them?
Yeah, it's just a biopharmaceutical company that's located here, like very nearby in the Triangle in North Carolina.
Cool.
So I don't know if you remember, but just 10-15 years ago, there was nothing at all for Alzheimer's treatment, and Biogen had to undergo numerous approval processes to get the drug approved. But it was really the first disease-modifying treatment that was actually able to slow down the progression of Alzheimer's. For the listeners out there, if you're interested, you can read more about it on our blog. It was a very controversial topic, and at the time of this recording, a new drug called Leqembi has been approved for Alzheimer's treatment. And I don't know, it was a real wow moment for me, I actually understood the importance of the progression of biology and how much potential it has to save and better lives. And then on the flip side, the COVID pandemic really showed me the other end in terms of what happens in the case when we're not really well prepared enough for a biological onslaught. Thankfully, Moderna, Pfizer, and Johnson & Johnson were able to come out with vaccines in time, but even then, I remember checking the Worldometer on a daily basis. In the United States alone, there were over 1,000 deaths a day. So yeah, I guess seeing both the upside potential and the necessity for the advancement of biology over the past few years really sold me on the field. Sorry, I've been rambling a little bit. What about you? What got you into biology?
No, you're good. That's awesome, honestly. I've also been super invested in the sciences in general. Still, I think the moment I really truly fell in love with biology was around my freshman year of high school when we were discussing eugenics and, the advent of CRISPR technology. Now we discussed, designer babies and stuff at the dinner table sometimes, and I just don't think the idea of it really sunk into my mind until I learned about the concepts in school. The idea of being able to select how intelligent or how strong your children are or how well set up they are for their lives. And I think that same year we heard about the scientist in China. Some of you listening at home might know about him, or at least might remember him, He Jiankui. He edited human embryos and changed their entire structures with CRISPR. And while that procedure was extremely unethical and an abhorrent disregard to life as a whole, I think in a kind of morbid sense, I found it extremely interesting how compelling this field of study was and its seemingly limitless potential, how soon we can achieve the utopias we dream of, a world free of disease and suffering. That I think was probably the nail in the coffin for me in terms of biology.
Yeah, interesting you bring up the ethicality of these experiments. Bioethics is a topic we'll definitely have to dedicate its own episode to here. But yeah, that's really awesome. I'm definitely really looking forward to finding out what else is going on in biological research fields with you.
I couldn't have said it better myself, Parth. Thanks to you, the listeners, as well, for your time and listening to our introduction, and we can't wait to see you next time.
Yeah, so this was just meant to be a short introductory episode. We'll have longer episodes with much more concrete topics for the future. So with that, thanks for listening, everyone. See you next time on BioCast. Stay curious.